So I know this video probably won't mean much to somebody if they're like a super hardcore Xbox fan and they think Xbox does no wrong. But for me, it's sort of a sad day because a lot of my friends, a lot of my people that I would podcast with, most of them have now switched over to PlayStation. And a lot of people might go, hey, that's stupid, it's silly, it's just video games. And I do think that it is just video games at the end of the day. Maybe not the most important thing in the world, but I also totally get it why so many are, and I can't really find fault with it, because I feel like if you feel that you've been wronged or whatever, then yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I think I would never tell people how to spend their money. I would never tell people what they should or shouldn't do. They're free to do what they want. They earn their hard-earned money, all that kind of stuff. At the same time, basically, it's one of those things where you can see that the frustration with certain things is boiling over. And much like, I think sports fans or any kind of fans, I think that it's fine to do so. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, when they see me or they see an Xbox fan or whoever on Twitter or where social media, what have you, do console wars or whatever, they go, grow up, don't be a man-child, don't be this, don't do that. A lot of the people that do this, it's so funny to me that I've noticed that, or when I complain about Xbox giving away their exclusives, I'll get some PC dude in my mentions and go, you should just get a PC, it's just where, everything is better. That, to me, and I can't stress this enough, I'll never game on PC. Right? But how can you tell a dude's a PC dude? Because they'll always be the one to tell you that they're a PC dude. Right? It's like vegans. How can you tell the vegan? Because they're shouting it constantly that they're vegans. Right? So anyway, what's so funny is a lot of the PC crowd will tell you to grow up and just, do this or whatever. Or you'll have a lot of the other people tell you, grow up, don't do this, don't do this. It's not important. But the same people telling you to grow up, and now you've got thousands and hundreds of thousands of people on the PC side sign in, giving review bombs over Helldivers 2 because you had to sign in on PlayStation as well, right? Like, I mean, those are the people telling you to grow up. So don't ever feel bad for doing console wars or anything like that. On the other side of it, the people that are like, oh man, everybody's so childish or whatever, are cheering. Like, I don't even know anything about these people, but apparently there's some rappers rapping about each other back and forth. And they're all, and these people that are telling us to grow up are the ones hinging on this back and forth between these grown-ass men rapping about each other back and forth. So, trust me, I don't know anything about any of that kind of stuff, but my good friend Tim Dog, who I've known for many years, actually probably about a decade now, has officially went to PlayStation. And me and him talk behind the scenes. It's not some kind of thing that's for clicks or whatever. He doesn't even have a YouTube channel. But, he went out and bought a PS5. He didn't have one. And, me and him were DMing, messaging each other about it and stuff. And what's funny is he's just like, man, I didn't realize that it's such a different experience. Now, here's the God's honest truth about, PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X. And Xbox Series X is a fantastic console. I'm not going to lie. I'm not all in on PlayStation. I think PlayStation's going through their own rough time. But what I will say is there is a stark difference when you first start playing these things, right? So what I mean by that is Xbox stuck with the same controller, maybe even downgraded. Like, I've mentioned this a few times. The controller that they're using seems a little bit more clicky and plasticky. I don't know, like cheaper. So, I mean, there's that. They're also using the same exact UI as the Xbox One. It feels very much just like a continuation, not necessarily this next-gen upgrade. When you buy a PS5 and you're coming off a PS4, it feels like a completely new experience, a completely new generation. And props to that. And he's mentioned that. That's what he said. He's like, man, this feels like a real premium next-generation experience. And I'm like, that's what PlayStation does. Like, if I had to give them props for anything, it would be that. And now he's like, playing stuff like Ghost of Tsushima for the first time, or Detroit Become Human. Like, he's going to enjoy these games because these games are of a quality, and let's just be real, that Microsoft hasn't been able to reach, right? Like, I love Starfield. I thought Starfield was a great game, but What kept that from reaching the stratosphere is that it lacked a lot of the little features and the little details that PlayStation games get right away. And don't take this as me going all in on PlayStation. You're not going to see a bunch of pro PlayStation videos on my channel or anything like that. I think that Xbox will ride out this generation, but I also have to laugh a little bit at, you know, the people that come at me on social media and think that Microsoft is going to do this thing where they do this PC hybrid. And I've mentioned this multiple times. I'm not sure why people think that Microsoft is going to do that, to be honest with you. First of all, Microsoft gets 100% of the profit from their first-party digital games that they sell on their store. Why would they ever offer an option where they get 0% of the money from the store, right? They get nothing from a Steam store, nothing from that, nothing from a Epic Game Store, right? Companies subsidize us hardware, right? So you might look at the Xbox Series X and go, that is one powerful ass machine. And when this thing launched a few years ago, right, you couldn't touch anything like that on PC for that cost. You know, you're paying $500 for stuff that does ray tracing, 120 frames, you know, really great platform, okay? And the reason they can do that, and they take a loss on that, right? I believe they said they were losing hundreds of dollars on each console sold. The reason why they can take a loss on that is quite simple, to be honest with you. And that is the fact that they are able to subsidize that at a cost, and then they get that money back through game sales, through subscriptions, through microtransactions, right? So people that come at me and think that Microsoft is suddenly going to be giving away, you know, come out with this console, right? I guess if they were charging $800 a piece for the consoles, then yeah, they could put Steam stores or whatever they wanted on there. I don't think they're going to do that though, right? Because you put a Steam store on there, people are going to buy Steam versions of games, which are $50 instead of $70. You don't have to pay to play online on Steam, so you're most likely going to circumvent paying to play online. Microsoft could no way say, pay us to play Steam games online. Like, could you imagine how bad that would go? You know, so yeah, there is, you know, a situation that we're in where people just think this really, really ignorant things. You know, it's kind of crazy to me the way people think about it. But a lot of my friends, a lot of the people that I grew up, you know, spent the last decade podcasting with, pretty much all of them now have gone to PlayStation, and Microsoft has done this. I know people think that it don't matter, or maybe that people wouldn't leave or whatever, but they 100% are leaving, and it's a real shame. It feels like the end of an era. I'm curious to hear what a lot of other people think. You know, a lot of people look at this as like a, you know, a loyalty thing or whatever, but to me, there's no loyalty there. It's, you know, these are companies, and you know, they're trying to sell us stuff. They don't care about us. Tim, for example, was realistically really used by Microsoft, man. They wined and dined him, you know, and that's just a fact, you know, and it sucks because, you know, they make you feel like you're part of something. Hey, we're in this together. We're going to kick ass together. And then, you know, it doesn't happen. So, you know, it is what it is. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys thinking about going to PlayStation? Let me know. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.